Alright, now that settings are out of the way, let's go ahead and start a match. If you're just playing alone, as I will be doing for right now, just click on Public, find a game, and we'll go with something in Skeld, assuming that we can find one there. Okay, made it into something. Over here at the computer, you can modify your character's appearance, change the color to whatever's available, pick suits and hats and pets if you have them. And now the game begins. I'm a crewmate, and so I have my list of tasks up here on the left, actually. So first one I have right here is med bay to inspect a sample. I press the E button on the keyboard to start the task, and this is one of the few that you start and leave for several seconds, about a minute, and finish later. The next task that I have is going to be down in electrical, aka the death room. So named because, well, people die in here a lot. Again, I use the E to open up the task and use the mouse to flip the switch. And someone has turned off the lights. So when that particular type of sabotage happens, you go to it and interact with it just like a task. With that one, it's flipping switches until they're all in the on position. And so you can see with this kind of thing, doing tasks is generally pretty simple. Again, just using the E key when you're using WASD to control is very, very smooth. You can also use the Tab key to open up the map, and this, when you're not as familiar with the locations of the ship, will give you a good idea of where your tasks are. Of course, you have to either hit Tab or Escape to get back out of the map, and then you can begin doing your task. And you'll also see up here that some of the tasks have steps, and so the taskbar does not fill until the task is fully completed. Oh, that took quite some time. And only one person's dead. So of course here, someone's found the body, and white is apparently sus. Or not. Unfortunately, I don't think they stated where the body is, and there's no strong suspicion of anybody, so we're just gonna vote to skip. And whenever someone is being very annoying, you can actually go here into the text chat, click on the little boot icon, and select whichever name you want kicked. If 3 people vote to kick the person out, they leave the game. Their tasks are removed from the taskbar, so we'll just go for them. What the? Oh. Apparently they decided Cyan was the suspect, and I guess that they were correct. We'll go ahead and do one more just to see if we can get a victory through tasks. Alright. A little banter during the waiting, and we already have a full boat, so let us begin. Alright. This time I have tasks down in storage, so I'm going to start there. Wires is one of the most annoying ones, but it is what is known as a common task, and thus everybody has to do it. The locations everybody has to do it are different, but everybody definitely does have to do it. I also now have the calibrating the distributor. This is also not a terribly popular one. If you don't click it in just the right spot, the entire thing resets. I also have engine fueling, which is one of the longest tasks. It is a 4-part. You have to fill up your canister and then take the full canister to each engine. They don't let you fill 2 canisters, they just do 1 at a time. Fortunately, the button to use them is in the same location either way, so you can just leave the mouse in the same spot. For the entire task, make it go a little bit smoother. And then there's manifolds. Just don't screw up counting, and that's how you solve this task. And all I have left now is to fix the wiring. Check the death room. Oh, wow, nobody's died in it. Someone died somewhere else, though. Oh, shit, 2 people died. 3, oh, ooh, damn, wow. What the f... And somebody shouting. So in this case, the protocol is usually to vote for the person being named as suspect, then the person who called them out, just in case. And so... Yes, I was the last one to vote, and we have anonymous voting on so that nobody can tell who voted for whom. White was the imposter. And so we win. Alright. This room is actually doing pretty well. So most of these settings are pretty common. The base is to start with 1 imposter, just easier for people to learn the game that way. Confirm ejects means that when somebody is thrown out the airlock, you are told whether or not they are an imposter. Not much of an issue for 1 imposter games, since either you kicked out the imposter and the game is over, or you didn't and the game continues. That's a little more interesting when there's 2 or 3 imposters. Anonymous votes, like I said, everybody votes without knowing who voted for whom. We'll go with more of the settings after this round. Let's see if we can get our tasks done. I have a submit scan, but I'm going to do that later. I will bring it up in the chat because that is what is known as a visual scan, visual task. Visual tasks are things that anyone can witness happening. If you'll remember in the previous game, I saw Brown dumping the trash. That is another one of the visual tasks that lets people know that they are definitely a crewmate. And we also have people disconnecting or quitting. Who knows why. That was the second part of the submitting power. Now I'm off to the cafeteria to fix... Oh, shit. I think only 1 person died. I think the other 2 disconnected. This is one of the problems that you run into when playing with random people, is they drop a lot. And so it can be difficult to keep a game going. Alright, so there's not really any information. I'm going to skip. And the person who died left. That happens on occasion. People die and are salty about losing like that, except that they don't necessarily lose because they can still finish their tasks and win. Alright, on to finishing this most horrible of tasks, and it's in security. Or in front of security. And now I'm guessing that some people may have been done with their tasks or are just watching security for the hell of it. Because right up here, you can watch what's going on in the cameras. I'm going to back out of this because there's someone else there and I don't want them to kill me while I'm watching the cameras. Alright, well, my last task is submitting the scan. So, whenever someone else is nearby, they can see the little scan go up and down your body. And that is one of the things that lets them know that you are a full-on crewmate and not an imposter. And apparently, I've got finished with no trouble. So, as you can see, my tasks are complete, and someone has called an emergency meeting. Ah. Well, that was lame. Some people will just straight up owning up to being the imposter when even a hint of suspicion comes their way. Other people will, you know, try to defend themselves. And, alright, another round is complete. The crewmates win.